Alright guys, haven't done a video in a little while. Thought I'd put a little something together real quick to show you guys a cook that I plan on doing here. I'm trying to do it very quickly here within a couple of hours. A couple of things are going to be a little different on this particular cook. I'm going to do some, as you can see here, got some beef ribs and some chicken breast. Those are some of my favorite things to cook. And every time I get a chance to fire the old grill up, the smoker up, this is typically what I cook. I've only got probably maybe 3 or 4 hours of daylight left, so I started a little late here trying to get some other things done. But I thought it was really important to do this video to show you guys a couple of things. First of all, I want to show you the setup of the grill here. I'm not going to smoke this meat using the actual smoker box, which is a little unusual. And the reason why I'm not going to do that is because of the time that it would take for me to get this done. You know, when you're smoking, you're talking, 5, 6, maybe 7 hours or so, trying to get some things done, especially with these ribs. It'll take a while, the beef ribs. So I am gonna do an offset smoke inside the main cooking chamber itself. And you kind of look and see how I got this thing set up. And I've got all the coals over to one side, which would be the equivalent of having it in a smoker box. My advantage of doing it this way, though, is I'm going to have the direct heat inside the chamber, which is going to cook my meat a whole lot faster and more efficient. So you can see we're getting up to temp here. It was, before I opened the lid, around 350 or so, according to the thermometer on the top. But we're getting ready to put these bad boys on. We're going to smoke them with some apple wood, and can't wait to see the end result. Usually what I do with my ribs is, well, let me go back to the seasoning. I already got it seasoned up as well, as you can see on the video. Typically what I do for seasoning is I'll take those spices and things that I like personally and mix those things together. You can go on just about any website and find seasonings, and I've tried a bunch of them, but I've seen what works best for me is, I love onion powder, salt, garlic, paprika, those kinds of things, a little cayenne for a little kick. I get all those things and get a empty bottle of a fair size and put, fairly equal amounts in and just shake it up. And that usually turns out very well for me. Liberally sprinkle the meat, and we should be good to go. So this is, again, this is going to be an offset quick cook where, we're not using the actual smoker box itself. We're going to do all the cooking and house all the heat inside the chamber itself. So we're going to get started here, get the meat loaded on, and be checking back in with you guys here shortly. All right, guys, we're about an hour and 45 minutes into this cook. And just going to pop the lid here, take a look and see what we've got, see if we got to make any adjustments. All right, chicken looks outstanding. Ribs are looking really, really, really good. A lot of juice coming out of them. Don't need to spray them. Love the color that's on that chicken. I'm going to hit it with a probe here shortly. Using this method, it usually only takes about no more than 2 hours or so to cook that chicken, so I suspect that it's just about done. But we're going to do something a little different with these ribs here in a few minutes. I always let them cook down and get the color that I want when I use this method, because there's so much heat circulating in the chamber. When I get the color that I want, then I go ahead and wrap them for about an hour and a half or so to get them tender. And I don't ever boil my ribs. I hear a lot of my friends talking about that, boiling the ribs and that kind of stuff. I never do that. Still get some real good tender ribs, and gonna have a good smoke ring in them. We'll cut them at the end, let you guys take a look at them and see exactly how they look. But that's where we are right now, hour 45 minutes or so into the cook. Looking really, really, really good. Loving the color that's on this meat. Gonna check the temperature here in just a few minutes, and then we'll be back with you guys here shortly. All right, guys, just pulled most of the chicken here. Pulled 4 of the 5 pieces. And again, you get a good close-up. Nice, good color on this chicken. Turned out really, really well. I always use olive oil In this case, I use extra virgin olive oil, patted the chicken dry, and hit it with the extra virgin olive oil, and then put the seasoning on. It really helps it stick and give a really good color and some extra flavor to it. Getting ready now. See, we're still smoking good. Everything's coming out just the way we want it. All right, getting ready to pull this last piece of chicken here. And also probably going to take these ribs here in just a few minutes. So you can see here, last piece of chicken that's on. Should be well done here. We're going to take it off. Set it to the side. Let's take a peek at that, what we just took off. And what we have left here is the ribs. Now, I've just about got the color I want, and I'm using a mixture today of hickory and apple. Those are my two favorites. Love the apple. I'm going to try to blend them both and see what we come out with. But you can see the color on these ribs is outstanding. That's about as far as I want to go as far as color goes. It's still really juicy, still a lot of juice coming out of them. So I'm going to pull them here, wrap them for probably about, I don't know, hour and a half or so, just however long as it takes for it to get tender and the meat to start separating from the bone just a little bit. So that'll be my next thing that I do, and we'll be back with you here shortly. Alright guys, looks like these beef ribs are done. The total cook time is about 3.5 hours or so, you know, compared to usually 4 or 5 hours to get, you know, beef ribs done, sometimes 6 hours or more. But you can see the meat is, you know, starting to pull away from the bone. These are certainly good and done. I just tapped inside of it here to you know, you can see how tender that meat just breaks and falls apart. Seeing some of that smoke ring on the inside of that meat. So these are good and done. All right, I'm gonna take them inside with the rest of the chicken, put it all on a platter, let you see it all together, and cut into some of these bones and let you see some of the smoke ring that we got from this meat. All right, see you inside here in just a minute. Alright guys, and there you have it. This is the finished work. Again, total for the chicken and the ribs about 3.5 hours. The chicken was about 1.5 hours or so. You can see the color is just outstanding on that. I can't wait to take a little bite of that to see how it tastes. Also, just cut into that beef rib. You can see the smoke ring inside of it. And all the juicy meat that's still there. It's good and wet. You can see still a lot of juice. It didn't spray it at all. You know, I kept the moisture inside once I saw that it was starting to sweat, got the color I wanted out of it, and then, you know, wrapped it along the way for the last hour and a half or so. But absolutely a great way to get your barbecue in when you don't have a lot of time, but you're craving for it. So I know for me next week, this is going to be lunch. Can't wait to bite off a little piece of it and try it now. But certainly looking forward to lunch every day next week. So all of my friends in my office where I work, when I warm it up in the microwave, you know, we get a pretty good rouse out of everybody. It smells like a barbecue restaurant. So anyway, appreciate you guys watching. You know, like, subscribe, leave comments. Certainly welcome to and love to hear from you guys. Got some comments the other day. I always try to respond to them as quickly as I can. I check it just about every day to see if there are any new comments, and just surprised at the overwhelming support. Almost 8,000 views of the first video, you know, doing about 1,000 views or so a month, which is way more than I ever expected just from a police officer who likes to cook barbecue. So anyway, thanks guys. See you the next go round. Happy barbecuing. You hope this quick little method helps you out. You know, again, about 3.5 hours, you can have you some beef ribs and some really good chicken. Great flavor, smells amazing in here. And we'll see you guys next time.